So when you host something like a World Championships, massive interest, a lot of expectation, because these championships need to be absolutely superb, especially as it qualifies for Paralympics. And when you're doing it in a short time frame, it puts even more pressure on delivery of that standard. It's been exceptional. So it's my first day here seeing this ice. Everything about it feels just truly professional. So incredible setup, amazing volunteers, everyone's here. Speaking to a few of the athletes so far, everyone seems in a good place, and you can tell when athletes are not happy, and you can tell when they're happy. And it just feels like it's a class venue on a major championships, and that's how it should be. So being totally honest, I've never curled. I'm now itching to get on the ice, I won't lie, because it's amazing being this close to it. But I grew up watching, especially Rona Martin, as she was then, just seeing that, the sort of stone of destiny, as it was called, that final shot to win the Olympic gold back in Salt Lake City, a long time ago now. But I think it's got so growing up and then watching it, and especially the big game time when it's Olympics or increasingly Paralympics, I think every sport gets this incredible moment in the sun when it comes to that level, and every 4 years, kind of all the world's eyes falls on it. So I think what curling then does, it produces this incredible drama and tension and sense of whether you've never done it, never seen it before, you can be a first-time viewer and get just how strategic it is, how clever it is, how often it always seems to come down to that last final throw, the last stone, and the drama builds and builds. So I think it gets really, really addictive, and I always leave the end of a major championships just wanting more. I think the UK feel very proud about hosting huge events, including a lot of the para events. I think it's really important that sport is seen as accessible and inclusive as possible for as many people as possible. I think we all have a huge responsibility, especially in Britain, where a lot of our, especially performance sport, is underpinned by public money. And there's a sense that actually we need to make sure that this is good value for money for the public, and that means feeling as relevant to as many members of the British public as we can. So I think when you put on a huge para event like this, a World Championships, it gives an amazing platform for people who might not normally see this kind of sport, might not normally see Paralympic sport at this level, to be able to say, God, that's something that exists, and that's something that's either worth supporting or worth trying or worth volunteering at or whatever. You want to engage the public as much as possible.
Here's your screen back. It's not too bad.
At Milan Cortina feels like it is coming closer, well, it is coming closer by the day. But when you're within we're about a year to go, and it really feels like, that's the next major thing that the whole of the country will be turning to watch. I think a lot of the sports are still obviously in qualification period. We've just seen with the curling boys and girls here that a lot of this will count towards the places come Milan Cortina next winter. So I think we're in a great place so far. I think from an athlete point of view, and I've been there, with a year to go, you can't help but really feel the mind sharpens towards pure performance element. And it will still be, especially for a lot of these teams here, they might have qualified the nation slot, but the individuals aren't yet qualified. So I think at this point, you don't want to peak too early. You've still got a year to go. That's a long time in anyone's book. But you want to really feel that the performances are coming. You're doing the last few performances through, they'll have obviously a break over the summer, but building up through the winter again to that amazing moment in Milan Cortina where everything has to come right. I think the team's feeling good. It still feels there's a way to go, but we're definitely in countdown phase now, and that is the best for everyone. One of the things I have seen, I think I've changed in my life as an athlete and also in my role at UK Sport, is this real understanding of what happens once the championship finishes. So I think there's a real pride in putting on an amazing World Championships like we're seeing right now. But there's the biggest question is almost like, and when that finishes, when the flags come down in the closing ceremony, what then? And it has to feel that public money that has gone in has got an ongoing benefit for members of the local communities, but also across the whole country. It has a positive impact that will last. Now, sometimes that's just people seeing the sport for the first time, or seeing para-athletes doing incredible things on the ice and thinking, God, that's something that I have not seen before. And it can change people's mindset, can change people's views of athletes and what's possible and what's not. And I think every sporting event will have a sort of planned legacy now to say this is what, when we leave, we know, and the sort of showcase moves on, what's left, and what's left has to be better than was there before, and have a longer term impact in people's sort of hearts and minds, and also what they think they can do.